Go. Okay, folks, today we're looking at expressing A as a percentage of B, which basically means one number as a percentage of another number. So let's have a look at question number 1. Right, let's have Minal, please join me on this question. Join me. So say, for example, Minal, somebody was doing a test. We say the context is Johnny is doing a test. Okay, so we have a little Johnny. He's doing a test. He scores 10 out of 50 in a Spanish test. Okay, Spanish test. Okay, so we want to know what his marks are as a percentage. So it's the first number is 10. He scored 10, comma, and that 10 is out of a total of 50. So that would be like a good context for this kind of question. So 10 out of 50 in Spanish is how would we change this information and calculate a percentage? What would be your technique, Minal?
You would put the denominators into 100. So you times 50 by 2. You would do this.
Slow down a second. We haven't even got a denominator at the moment, so you got to give me the.
You need to times both of what it's out of to make 100.
So first of all, we need to put the top number, the first number on the top, and the second number on the bottom. Okay, so we have the, so let's just put a little note there what we're doing. So we put the first number on the top and the second number of our set on the bottom. So we've changed this question here, 10, 50, or the context Johnny doing a Spanish test into a fraction. So that's the most important thing. Put the first number on the top, second number on the bottom. Now we have a fraction, and now we just do what we were just doing earlier, changing fractions into percentage. Either this is called the traditional method or the equivalent method. So which method do you want me to use for this one?
The equivalent method.
Okay, that's lovely. I'm happy with that. That's a good method. It's a robust method. What goes on the bottom here?
100.
100. So we're trying to change 50ths into hundredths. So how do we go about doing that? What do we do?
You have to do what you did to the second number to the first number.
So we start at the bottom. 50 becomes 100 by doing what?
Times it by 2.
And what we do to the bottom, we must do to the
top.
So that gives us 20 over 100, which gives us 20%. So this is the top number that we're going to read off from the fraction to give us our percentage answer. Okay, so give me one moment, a second. I just need to. Right. Question number, let's find a question that we'll need to use the other method in. Yes, question number 4 is a good one. So question number 4, let's have Ariana, please join me in question number 4. Thank you for that, Minal. So question number 4, we want to express 20 as a percentage of 125. So it could be, for example, there are 125 bulbs in the box, 20 of them are faulty. That could be the context. So we want to express this situation as a percentage. So how do I express 20 as a percentage of 125? Ariana, go.
Do you make it a fraction?
So what number goes on the top?
20.
Because it is the first number. So the first number says this is A as a percentage of B. So the A goes on the top, for example, the percentage, that number. And what goes on the bottom?
125.
125. Now, for this particular method, doing the equivalent method is going to be a little bit more tricky because 125 won't happily go into become 100. So which is the other method that you've just learned just literally 10 minutes ago? How do we change this fraction to percentage by not using the equivalent method? Give me a different method.
You times it by 100 over 1.
Okay, this is called the traditional method. Right, so help me, how would I go about cancelling? You can cancel this way or that way. Which way would you want me to cancel, the vertically or diagonally first? Is any of the directions are good? Choose one.
Vertically.
Vertically is good, but at the moment the diagonal will give you a bigger cancellation in the first place. So should we go for the diagonal first? We can also do vertically in a bit. Go on. So what can you cancel 125 and 100 by? So you need to think about the
25.
highest common factor. What's the biggest
25.
number that will divide them? Okay, anybody in the class can give a hand, please? Highest common factor, anybody?
Is it 5?
Okay, 5 is a factor, but it's not the highest common factor. You can do better than
25.
that. It's going to be
25.
25. Fantastic. Whoever said that. Well done.
Is
So we divide 125 by 25 is
5.
5. And what's 100 divided by 25?
4.
4. Now, remember I said earlier about cancelling vertically? Let me change the color. So let's cancel vertically now. You can still cancel vertically. What can you cancel 5 and 20 by?
4.
By 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 4 is the answer. 20 divided by 5 is 4. So you can cancel and cancel again. So you can keep on cancelling until you can't cancel anymore. So now that we can't cancel anymore, because there's nothing left to cancel, we do the two top numbers multiplied together. So we got 4 times by 4. What's 4 times by 4?
16.
Okay, and what's 1 times by 1?
1.
Beautiful. And what's 16 divided by 1? What's the final answer?
16%.
Fantastic. Lovely. Done. Yeah? So we're cancelling the orange diagonal direction. Then we're cancelling the cancel answer in the vertical direction. We multiply the top numbers, multiply the bottom numbers, and Bob's your uncle and Jane's your auntie. Sorted. Lovely. Okay, so those are 2 questions that I've done. And we are getting towards the end of the lesson. I want you to have a go at some questions. I'm just going to pause it now. So we're resuming the recording now. So as we said before, 15 over 25, we can use the equivalent technique of making the bottom number into 100 and the top number will then give us the answer, which is 60%. So we have now 15 over 150. Now for this one, I want to use the traditional method. So I'm going to try to cancel now. Let's get an orange. Trying to cancel. We can cancel vertically straight away. Okay, so we divide that by 15. We divide that by 15. That gives you 10. And then we can try to cancel in a different direction. Okay, let's go for a different direction. This direction. So we divide that 10 by 10, and that 10 by 100 by 10 gives you 10. So we have 1 times by 10 is 10, and 1 times by 1 is 1. So the final answer is 10%. Okay, so next we have is question number 5, which is 60 over 200. We can use equivalent technique for that. Change that into percentage. 60 as a percentage of 200. You divide the bottom number by 2 and the top number by 2. That gives you 30 over 100. And you read off the top number, and that gives you 30%. The next question is question number 6. We have 75 over 150. Give me a second. Okay, so that gives you 35%. Question number 6. We have 75 as a percentage of 150. So 75 over 150. And we can times that by 100 over 1. We can do some nice easy cancelling here by cancelling in this direction. We can cancel them by divide that by 75, divide that by 75. Then we can cancel diagonally now. And then we can cancel 2 divided by 2 is 1, 100 divided by 2 is 50. So that'll give you 1 times by 50. And then 1 times by 1 on the bottom. So the final answer for that is 50%. So that's the end of the first page. The second page has got questions in context. They've got questions that 8 marks out of 10. So 8 marks out of 10. 8 out of 10. So for that one, we can do the equivalent method. So that'll give you 80 over 100. So the answer for that one is 80%. So if you score 8 marks out of 10 in a test, you have scored 80%. Question number 8, which I've done earlier, 5 out of 30. So we changed that one into the traditional method by multiplying by 100 over 1. We were able to cancel diagonally this way by dividing them both by 10, so we knocked off the 0. We were left with the top numbers timesing. 5 times by 10 is 50. 3 times by 1 on the bottom is 3. 50 divided by 3 will give you 16. So I'll give you 1, 2, that's the remainder 2. And then we convert this answer back into our full answer, 16 2/3%. Question number 9, Minal is asking me, how do we do this question? We have minutes and it's talking about hours. So 15 minutes out of 1 1/4 hours. So we've got to turn the 1 1/4 hours into minutes. We can't have a minute question over an hour question. It won't work. So everything has to be minutes. So let's have a look. So we have 15 out of 75 minutes. So 15 over 75. We use the traditional technique on that by timesing by 100. And first of all, we cancel diagonally by dividing by 25. And then we canceled the cancelled answer vertically by dividing everything by 3. And we left with 5 times by 4 is 20. 3 times by 1 is, sorry, 1 times by 1 is 1. So that gives you still 20%. Let's quickly finish these off. 20 out of 30 adults are women. What percentage are men? So you can do 30, take away 12. Okay, so 20 out of the 30 adults are women. If you want to work out the men, you do 30, take away the 12, which gives you 18 men. So what percentage are men? So it's 18 out of the total 30, times it by 100 over 1. We use the traditional method here. That will help us more better. Divide by 10 diagonally. And then let's change color. No, we don't want black. Okay. So divide that by 3. Divide that by 3. So we cancel diagonally and vertically. And we left with 6 times by 10 is 60. 1 times by 1 is 1. And the final answer is 60%. Lovely. Next question. Number 11, number 12. 11 out of 20 eggs are broken. What percentage are not broken? So 20 minus 11 is 9 eggs are not broken. So you've got to work out the opposite first. So you've got 9 eggs which are not broken out of the 20 eggs. And for this one, we can use equivalent method because it's quicker. So that'll give you 45%. The top number is the answer. The bottom number will give you over 100. Last one, number 12. 25 out of 500 TVs are supposed to be here. Spelling mistake here, or the spelling error there. Should be faulty. What percentage are faulty? Okay. 25 over 500. We use the equivalent method. So we're going to make 500 into 100 by dividing by 5. What you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So the final answer is, okay. That's the end of all the questions that we're supposed to have done. Okay, thank you very much. Let's just stop the video.